Hi, this is Emil again. Okay, let's move along to our next tab, and that would be the user cost tab. Okay, this is where you can define the terms and costs that you wish to charge on your site. Okay, the first item here is add life duration, and that's in number of days. This is a global default for the number of days that you wish an ad to be published for. Okay, so in this case, it's just going to be 7 days. You can then set this to 14, 30 days, or whatever you feel comfortable with for your global default. Okay, this next item, global durations and costs for ads. Those are basically where you can set a term of X number of days and the cost for that number of days. This is a global value that can be set so that all ads on this site can be set. You can set the first one to 0 or the duration to, let's say, 7 days to match this one, or set it up to 15 or 30, whatever. And the cost can be set at 0. Duration number 2 can then have a higher value, let's say 30 days, and a cost of, let's say, $3. Duration 3 can be set to 60 days and a cost of $5, etc. And you have 5 different levels that you can set. Okay, those will be on this particular category. We're using the merchandise appliances, which doesn't have any additional fee set for the duration of this particular ad. If somebody were to select, let's say, vehicles, cars, then that'll turn around and it pops up, and here the first field is actually set up for $0 for 7 days. If you customer wants to put the ad in for 14 days, it's up to $2.50. For 30 days, it's up to $4.38. Okay, and those are set actually at the category or subcategory level. That's why the values here don't seem to correspond. Okay, next item is the item feed background. This is where you have specific items that you're going to be able to charge fees for, let's say images or specific items like if you want to allow them to put in a URL to their own web page, you can charge extra for that, or for videos or things such as that. Okay, in this case here, you can see here for the URL field, we charge an extra $1, and also for images. The first image in this case is free for this particular category, and each additional fee picture costs $6.25. Okay, here is where we can add up or down values depending on the registered level of the particular user. So that if you have a public or guest user, it's automatically going to up the value by 25%. So what you see here, $6.25, the basic cost is really only $5. But because this person is not a registered individual, it's going to cost them $6.25, 25% more. And the same thing, if you don't want to use a percentage, you can actually use a fixed value so that you put in, leave that at 0, put in a value of $4. We'll change that right now, or we'll just leave this at 625 and we'll set this to 0. We'll save it, and then we'll go back here, we'll refresh this screen, and you'll see that the image costs automatically change. There, it's now set to $6.36 instead of the base fee would have been $5, and it added $1.36 to this value. Okay, so we'll just put the 25 back in for now and resave this, and then scroll back down, and this is broken down so that if you have the public or just a guest, they can get these additional fees charged. A registered user will just pay the base fee. If you have somebody registered as an author, you can actually set this value to a minus 5% or minus value, so that it'll actually reduce that base cost of $5 to, let's say, only $4.50. And the same thing for an editors, somebody registered as a publisher, so that these can all have individual values based on what their level is. This is comes in handy if you have a membership setup, so that certain members of different levels, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, etc., they can all have different values so that they can be paying slightly lower cost or higher cost depending on their values. Okay, now down at the bottom here we have cloning. This asks you if you wish to allow cloning. Basically, it's going to allow a user to clone or copy an ad to a different category once the ad has been placed, and then they can actually pay a specific discount or value based on this clone, so that if a base ad costs $10, if you will allow them to clone it and you set this to 5, then basically they'll only pay $5. Okay, that ends this user cost tab. Go to the next tutorial to check our context tab. Thanks.